Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds, and welcome to our third episode of It Only Gets Better From Here, the board game Backlog. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right, so we got 462 board games / expansions. That number went up a lot since the last one of these. Mary's been buying a lot of games.
It's supposed to be that you're not buying any games right now, except all the Kickstarters appear to be kicking in.
That's right. Alright, so this series we go through and see which games have earned their spot in our collection and which ones are hitting the bricks.
Yep.
So let's dive in. We're playing them from lowest ranking. So on a scale of, I think it's 1 to 10. I don't think you can give a game a 0. So we'll go through these. First
based on Board Game Geek's ranking.
Rating.
They have ratings and
ranking. A game has to get so many ratings to get a ranking, and then it's weighted, but a lot of them don't have it, so we went by rating. So up first, we got Mystery Motive for Murder. So Board Game Geek has this at a 5.55. This is not at all what we expected. I think we got this at Goodwill.
Yeah. I think we thought it was going to be like a murder mystery kind of.
Right,
like,
yeah, maybe an escape room, maybe a type of clue. This is a tile laying game in which you're trying to build the best motive for murder. So you'll have the victim, then you'll have someone who hates them, and however the degree of hate they have, you'll score that many points. But then, if you can find someone who loves the person who hates the dead guy, you get to add those two sets of points together. It's the longest
chain. You're going for the longest chain. So it's really, it's tile placement and matching, or sort of matching, I guess it's opposites.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not at all what we thought.
Not at all what we thought. I liked it more than Mary, but what rating did you give it?
Oh, probably a 4.
Remember the whole shtick of us giving it a rating?
Yeah.
A 4?
Yeah.
I was going to say a 6.
Yeah.
So, ultimately, I think we have better tile placement games, and so I think this one's going to hit
better murder games.
Mary does love murder. She loves it. Hit that like button if you think I'll get murdered before I die of natural causes. Alright, up next, we got Fish Eat Fish at a 5.71 on Board Game Geek. So this is
the game for our kids.
Yeah, it's a kid's game. It's basically war, but you have, so each player has the same value of cards, and then you're trying to be the last fish standing.
You have so many cards that you're given in the beginning, and
you can play any of them.
You can play any of them, but once you've played it, you don't get it back.
That's right.
So you're going to play war. If you play all your high cards at first, then the other person can catch up to you later. And
right, that's how I used to beat our oldest son. I knew 100% fact he was going to start at the highest level and work his way down. So, I think our kids like this game more, I guess more George, because it has pictures of sharks in it.
I like sharks.
So, what do you rate it?
For the kids, I'd probably say a 6.
I was going to say 5.
For myself, maybe a 3.
It's just war.
Yeah.
It won't last long, but while the kids are still getting a kick out of it, we'll keep it around. Speaking of kids games, I think this video is either this one or the next one. Pretty much be done with the kids games.
Yes.
I know the next video, there's a couple, but not as heavy. We got Ear Tug. Let's see. Boom! Orange ear. I win again. Ah! So this is real kiddie. This is a game that our 3-year-old Georgie can play by himself, unassisted. Oh, did I say we're going to keep? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to keep fish eat fish.
This is a game in which you pull ears out of a bag and try to match them up. There's like a tic-tac-toe one where if you're put the last ear down to make a full tic-tac-toe, you win. There's ones where you're trying to match up all your animals. It's silly fun, but like I said, Georgie can play it. What do you rate that one?
Like a 2.
A 2?
I mean, it's pretty basic.
Yeah, but it's for kids.
It is. It is. For a 3-year-old, probably a solid 6 as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 4 because I do think the components are really nice. Nice thick cardboard, nice wooden ears.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not much for adults. But Georgie likes it, so we'll hang on to it. Up next, I think every collection has this game. Mm-hmm. Apples to Apples. So this is a 5.77. This is basically a game in which it's word association. So someone will have, I think it's adjectives, and then you play out various nouns.
Yeah, and then you have a person who judges.
Right.
And they're to determine which adjective best fits that scenario. It could be a scenario. I think it's a scenario usually.
I think you're thinking of the other one.
The one that's for adults.
Yeah. So this one's like majestic. And then everyone has to play a card from their hand that they think is majestic. So it's like, the Mona Lisa, the Titanic, Eiffel Tower, and then
your grandma's butt. And then it makes it funny.
I don't think this one has grandma's butt. So the other game is obviously Cards Against Humanity. Mm-hmm. This one is the one for kids, old people, or religious people. We're going to get to Cards Against Humanity very, very shortly. So this one is a 5.77. What do you rate it?
I think it's a good 6 or 7. I like it.
You pick one number.
All right, I'll do 7. I'll do 6.5. Yeah, I'll do 6.5.
That's a 5 for me. I don't hate it. I like to have games in my collection for non-gamers. We'll have parties and activities over. Not everyone wants to do some heavy, big Euro game or war game. So this is just nice to break out. Anyone can play it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So we're going to hang on to that one. This one, lie detector. Hey Pumpkin, I want to see if this lie detector works.
Okay.
Tom and Laci of Do You Nerd will not be at SIEG this year. Or does that make you sad?
Yeah.
Are you sad because you wanted to accidentally have one too many and fool around with Laci?
No.
You guys got room for a third?
No.
So this is a cute game. Basically, it's sort of like Guess Who.
It's almost exactly like Guess Who.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, when he first set it up, I was like, all these people look like the characters from Guess Who. And yeah, it's just another way of playing Guess Who.
Right. So each character has, or each witness has a trait that they'll say, like large nose, and then so you'll lie detector them, and it'll either be true or false, and then you have to determine which people have large noses and which ones don't. Some of the clues are a little vague, like thick lower lip, like
yeah.
It's like, well, that guy's lips kind of medium. That one definitely has skinny lips. That one's kind of big, So it's not as cut and dry as it thinks. I think the general idea was, let's have people with, a large something, a small something, and then a medium something. So each time you only theoretically eliminate 1/3.
And we also were playing it wrong the first
Yeah.
time.
If you put the cards in backwards, you get totally different answers.
Wait a second, that's not who it is.
I think we were doing one, and it's like bald, and we're just, bald is true, and so we eliminated everyone with hair, and then we're trying to figure it out. It's basically a race to figure out who done it, and once you take a guess and you're wrong, you're just eliminated. So I guessed, and I was wrong. And I looked at the card and I was like, well, Mary, you'll never get this in a million years, so it doesn't matter. Let's just start over. But we're going to get rid of that one. It's a funky size box. It doesn't fit on the calyx. And it's just, I guess we don't have Guess Who. We have way better deduction games. That's basically what it is.
What would you rank that one then?
Oh, I love the art on it. I love, what do they call that? Caricatures?
Caricature. It's like caricatures.
Yeah. I love that art style, so I'll go 4.
I'll go 4 as well.
Okay. All right. Up next, the aforementioned Cards Against Humanity. And then we're also throwing in the little expansion we got. Typically, we're going to do these separately, but this expansion adds nothing to the game outside of just more cards. So everything we said about apples to apples, but this one is for your drunk, horny friends. Like, you don't want to play... This one has a card called Big Black Cock. You don't want your grandma to get the Big Black Cock. So, if it's that kind of humor, you pick this one. It's a lot of dirty jokes, a lot of drinking jokes.
I like it. I think it's fun.
Yes. I think if I had to pick between the two, I would personally pick Cards Against Humanity. But I know we frequently have people over that Cards Against Humanity wouldn't be their speed. Right. Like, I couldn't imagine playing that with your father.
No.
So, but I could definitely see us playing apples to apples with your father.
Yeah. And we have before.
Yeah. So this one, weirdly, the main game is 5.8, and the blue box expansion is actually 6.81. So it's significantly better. So maybe the cards are funnier. I think we've shuffled them all together, so I don't even think I'd be able to tell you which one's which. We'd have to...
Yeah, we just tried to...
Yeah, I think literally when we bought it, I grabbed it, shuffled them all together, and just divvied them back up. We will probably buy a bigger box, because this is annoying to have 2 boxes. What's your ranking?
I'd say a 7.
I
like it.
I think this one's a 6. If apples to apples is a 5, I think that one's a 6, just because it's more my humor. But we'll keep that one for our drunk friends. I mean, Up next, we got Igor, the monster making game. So this game, you are rolling dice. Everyone is trying to find parts for monsters, and you roll the dice to see what you can get. It's sort of that Yahtzee style, where once you roll it, you want to keep that dice, or you have to keep one, I think, each turn. You're trying to match the symbols on a monster, but you don't want to match too many. And then once you run out of options, the dice gets past the next person. They might, only need 1 dice to finish the monster off. You yell, throw the switch, obviously a reference to Frankenstein, and that monster comes to life, and each monster is worth points. They got this at a 5.81. What do you say?
I would say a 6.
I think 6 is fine.
Yeah.
We are going to hang on to this one because I think this is the next step for our children.
Yeah.
I think they might be slightly below it now. I think Grace could play it, our 5-year-old. And I think Georgie's right around the corner from it.
Yeah, it's cute.
Cute art. This box infuriates me to no end. This is my biggest pet peeve in all board gaming. Yeah. This giant box. There's nothing behind this white. This white is all blank space. I don't have little hands. Literally, it's like 20 cards, 5 dice, and some chips. And that's it. So it's going to lose its box, but it will stay in the collection. Up next, we got 1313 Dead End Drive.
This one was pretty cutthroat.
It looks like a kid's game, like the art style and all that. It's kind of dark and morbid. You're basically a relative / friend of all these people dies, and she has a large inheritance. And everyone is trying to murder everyone else to get more of that inheritance. Now you can escape the house and keep, basically whatever inheritance you have. I think there's a couple characters that start off high, but each character you kill, all their money slides down to the next person in line, so they're probably going to get the axe pretty early. I thought we actually played this with Grace, and I thought she would get a bigger kick out of it, but this generation of kids does not like this style of cutthroat game. I feel like me as a kid, I would have been fine with it, like just laugh it off, but Gracie got the dog and the cat, and if you did anything to those, you were going to hear about it. And she's not even trying to escape. She's not trying to kill anyone else. She's just having the cat and the dog just run around the house, and it's like the game just spiraled out of control. So me and Mary just killed all of our characters, and then I think Gracie may have gotten one of her characters mixed up with one of my characters and had her escape, and that was the big money winner. So, Board Game Geek has this at 5.86. What do you think?
Maybe a 4.
Yeah, I'll go 5. I'll go 6. I do like the whole trap thing.
It's got a setup, like, it's got the traps.
Almost like a mousetrap.
It remind me of Mousetrap, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not the Rube Goldberg setup, but still, it's...
You drop, like, a statue on someone. You throw someone into a fireplace. It spins around. So it has that, like, almost toyish factor to it. People nowadays might be a little too sensitive for that game. Especially kids. They really grasp on the characters. You throw them into the fire. So that one's going to be hitting the sale pile.
The puppy was cute, though.
The puppy was cute. Up next, this might be Mary's least favorite game that we've played so far. Pittsburgh 68. So before you bash it, let me just say a couple nice things. Number one, this is a board game that's based... You're trying to make a movie, and that movie is obviously Night of the Living Dead, which was filmed in Pittsburgh in 1968. But then it doesn't really... it's broken into acts. Other than that, it doesn't really play like a movie.
And it's impossible to win.
It seems so weighted towards the zombies, and I guess, if the zombie apocalypse ever did break out, I would imagine the zombies would win. Like, eventually, right? It did seem... The game did not seem balanced. Especially once you start chaining. Like, once you got like 3 groups, and if you have 3 zombies in a group, you get to add another one for free, and so you just fill up so fast. You guys were...
It's like pandemic style.
Right. You guys were in pretty bad shape. Now, I messed up, and I wasn't... You're supposed to, attack with the entire group of zombies. I was still attacking with singular zombies. But even that, I put myself at a horrible disadvantage. I still was doing rather well. Now, I do think in the end, you guys pulled it out. I don't remember what you guys were trying to... Was it just make it to the end of the 3rd act? Is that how you guys won? Because I know there are some scenarios that'll pop up. I don't think we end up having one.
I think we just got lucky.
Yeah. So, Board Game Geek has this at a 5.86. What do you think?
I'll give it a 2.
2?
Just wasn't a fan. Was not a fan. And I think I wasn't a fan before you even got it out.
Yeah.
So I was suddenly like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do
She
this.
definitely judged this book
I really
by
like
the
Night of
cover.
the Living Dead, too. I like the one that was it 1978,
Oh, the remake.
maybe? Not the 68, but there was one that
So
was later.
the original
Or
was
maybe it
black
was in
and
the
white.
80s.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the one in the 80s. It's
Yeah,
the same
I liked
movie that
that
just has
one.
color in it.
Yeah, I liked that one. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I like the black and white one, my favorite. But yeah, I'm gonna go for. It didn't seem balanced. Basically, once the zombie guy gets going, then once you kill other people, they become zombies, and then that horde just gets out of control. You're in trouble. So we're gonna get rid of that one. We had that one for a pretty long time though, so I'm glad we finally got it played. Up next, Monster Factory. So this is another tile laying game in which you either connect a purple piece to a purple piece or a green piece to a green piece. It's these crazy interwoven
You build a
monsters.
Very simple.
Our daughter loves this. Wants to play it all the time.
And George can play it.
And
And he actually wins a lot.
well, he does need a little bit of guidance on. Well, you gotta connect. You can't connect that purple piece to that green piece. He does need a little bit of guidance there. Grace, our 5-year-old, can play it, no problem. And I actually enjoy it myself. I just don't want to play it 15 times in a row. Board Game Geek has this at a 5.87. What say you?
I'd say a 6, maybe a 7 for the kids. I mean, it's very easy and straightforward for them to play, but it's also really fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 7 too. I think it's. I think the ease of it really helps. And it's pretty quick game as long as your kids aren't dilly dallying too much.
Our kids dilly-dally the whole time.
I think it's just a solid tile laying game. It doesn't take itself too seriously. There's lots of silly artwork on it. It's fun. So we're gonna keep that one. Up next, we got Nightmare.
Whose turn is next? Answer me!
Fresh, my gatekeeper.
That is a stupid name, isn't it, you maggot?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
We've had this one for a very long time.
Yeah.
I think this was seriously in the first lot of games I ever bought. So this is a relic of the 90s.
Yes.
It has. Watch this. The kids aren't even going to know what this is.
Nope.
Gracie did not know what this was. I showed it to her. A VHS tape. Look at that and all of its glory.
We do have a VCR if we were to ever want to play VHS, but we
Yes.
just went ahead and looked it up on YouTube.
Yeah, so we just played the YouTube video. So basically in this game, you walk in a circle, try to collect keys. The gatekeeper yells at you and sometimes gives you stuff, sometimes hurts you. I learned after we played this game is not meant for 2 players. It's minimum 3.
Oh,
So,
we played it with 2.
When we played it with 2, I didn't realize that. It was fine.
Yeah.
I do think we got out of the black holes. Like they have these traps, black
But
holes
then
pretty
with only
easily.
2 people, you have a 50-50 chance of losing in the end.
Yeah. So you write down your biggest fear in these. What'd you call those pins?
Oh, it's like a wax pencil,
Yeah,
or
wax-
almost like a crayon, but they use them commonly on projectors.
Okay.
But I don't know if anyone knows what a projector is anymore. That was also when we were kids. So
You were a kid. I haven't heard of that either. But anyways, I had to Google what the tape was. You write down your biggest fear, and you put it in a stack. Someone shuffles the stack. And by the time you get all 6 of these keys with this guy on the tape decking with you, you get there, you draw. If that's your biggest fear, you're dead. Now, let's say there's 4-player game. 3 of you pick spiders. Doesn't matter if it's your handwriting. If that's your biggest fear, so 75% of the group could be, or 75% of the time you would lose.
And you don't tell the other people.
Right.
So if everybody had the same fear, then no matter what
like
you were
spiders, heights, snakes, like some of the big ones.
If you had 4 people and they all 4 had the exact same fear, no matter what, everyone loses.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's pretty tough. You know, me and Mary's biggest fears were in the same ballpark, but I would say different enough.
Yeah.
It's... I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to play this. It has not earned its spot in my collection.
No. It's a weird box.
It's a really weird long box,
eventually,
and it's beat up.
Eventually, you'll watch that video enough times, you'll kind of anticipate what's coming next.
Yeah,
so.
each. I imagine if you had this game growing up, you basically can play it without the dude talking. Because you can be like, okay, well, whoever's the oldest has to roll their age. We can't do anything until they roll their age. If they go over, they got to start over. And then when the young person had to do it, Mary was dead at this time, so I had to do it again.
I got all my keys and made it to my nightmare, and then drew my nightmare because it was a 50-50 chance.
Yep, and I did the same thing. So, again, there's 4 of them. If you really like this style, you can.
The video is
you
just
can go
a
ham.
little weird to me. I don't.
This dude earned his money. I don't know if he was paid $50 or $60, but he earned all of it. All of that money he earned. He is chewing up the scenery left and right in that. So Board Game Geek has it at a 5.91. What say you?
3?
3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4.
There's not replayability there. It's weird. You're just rolling dice. You're rolling dice.
It's a
quickly.
roll and move as fast as possible.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go 4 just because it's mainly because of the actor. if that actor's bad, this is a 1 easily. But that guy, he earned his $50.
Okay.
Up next, Who Done It? I know we got this at Goodwill because I didn't take the sticker off. Who Done It? This is Clue, but slightly different. If you like Clue, pick this up. It fixes
it's a much bigger matrix, though.
Yeah, so it fixes the biggest problem in Clue, the biggest thematic problem in Clue, in which you could actually be the murderer, hunting down yourself, but not remembering where or with what you killed somebody. How often do you kill to forget?
But the matrix for that you're trying to go through, because it's like, it's not just what weapon, it's like, how sharp was the weapon? Was it made of metal?
Right, So it's more, it's like adjective based, where the 3 adjectives put together only can possibly match one item, or one person, or one place, or one motive.
Collect clues and figure it out.
So you're collecting clues and alibis. So you can, I've got a clue Mary doesn't know. She can interrogate me and try to get my alibi out of me. But it's Clue.
There are so many versions.
Right, we've got a lot of deduction games. If you like Clue though, pick that one up. You can get it at Goodwill, super cheap. Board Game Geek has this at 5.91 as well. What about you?
I'd say a 5.
Yeah, 5. I think 5 is fine. So that one will also bite the dust.
Such violence.
And last but not least, we got the Fairy Game. So this is a cooperative game in which you're trying to collect fairies of different colors to retrieve the gems from the flowers to put into your fairy wand before Mr. Winter can freeze a flower. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. It basically follows the pandemic engine.
Which I love pandemic.
Yeah, we love
it's
pandemic.
It's a pandemic engine, but it's, at the level that
gold down.
Our children can play.
Yep.
Because Grace can play it.
Yep. We played it with Grace, and we've played it without you together. Board Game Geek has this at a 5.92. What do you think?
Okay, I would say a 6 or a 7. I'll do 6.5.
Okay. Yeah, 6.5 sounds good. I'll match you. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I think cooperative games are actually better for children.
Yes.
Because they can get a little too emotional. At least maybe our kids. They get a little emotional when they lose. So that is it. Not very many high scores.
It only gets better from here.
There you go. Let us know down in the comment section if you've played any of these, if any of these sound good to you, and if we made the right choices. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.